Well, hi, Katrina. The first thing I'm thinking when looking at your drawing is maybe this is a nut or a fruit, such as a peach, um, because the sphere is not perfectly round, so I know that it's not, for instance, a ping pong ball. Um, let's see. If I wanted to draw a perfect sphere, I might start with a compass or some sort of template, like trace a roll of masking tape to get a nice circle. And I'd trace it with the lightest touch and then continue forward, drawing everything else freehand. I'm wondering about the cast shadow. This shape of shadow seems to me to be rather unlikely unless you were nearly above the sphere looking down on it. I would like you to pay special attention to the actual appearances of the things that you're drawing. Hello, Michelle. This is an interesting arrangement. It seems as though the ball is sitting on the very corner of the table where it might fall. It looks like it's precariously balanced, and I think that makes everybody pay attention to what you've got here, to your composition. I think there's room for some more manipulation of values on the ball itself. I think there could be more gentle value, more of the ball could be gray versus white. Well, hello, Bob. With some consideration, I appreciate that your images are looking a little better than they were last week. I think you're getting the hang of either scanning or photographing. I wonder if this one is just a tad fuzzy. Make sure that your photos are in focus. Often I'll take 2 or 3. Of course, if it's digital, it's not like you're wasting film. And then when I get them on my computer, I can choose the best one. So here, your ball is looking a little squashed, and I'm wondering if that happened in Photoshop or if you just drew it as a sort of oval shape, more like an egg. The cast shadow to me seems rather odd. Why would a ball cast a square shadow? An interesting conundrum you present here. Also, I'd like you to pay special attention to the way you lay values down. Try for a smooth application or strokes that work with the subject. In other words, if you were to draw strokes that seem to suggest the roundness of the ball, that would be fine. In fact, I think the ball looks great. It's the shadow that perhaps has distracting strokes in it. Well, hi, Tom. I would suggest that you use that sort of value gauge that I've been talking about. Make yourself a little value chart on a piece of stiff paper and then take a hole punch to it. Punch a hole in every value area and then peer through it to match values on the subject you see in front of you to the drawing that you're making. I feel as though the values on the body of this ball are perhaps a little bit pale. It is a nice suggestion of roundness, the way that you've shaded it, but I encourage you to go darker and I encourage you to let up on a sort of outline around the ball. Hi, Mason. I think I wrote about this very same sketch in the assignment itself. And there what I was saying was it would be good to take a closer look at the values at the point where the ball and its cast shadow meet. Also, I'd like you to take a listen to. Hi, Mason. I wrote about what I think is this very version in the assignment discussion, so I'm going to refer you there, and also I'd like you to listen to what I was saying to Katrina. Kim, this is a very competent drawing, and if you'll remember what I said in the discussion, the only little thing I like to suggest here is that you take a look at the area of reflected light, which may be too pale in value. Hello, Joanne. There is some nice shading here, but I feel as though this drawing is a bit stylized, and the way to get past a stylized drawing is to actually look at your subject, look at it closely, and be sure that it's lit well. Well, hello, Chris. I like the way that your strokes are wrapping around the ball. That makes for a convincing illusion here. As I've said to others, I'm not sure about the cast shadow. I'm also looking for some more differentiation between the cast shadow and the object itself, and thinking about reflected light might help you there. Nina, you are one person with a light touch with a pencil. This is marvelously shaded in terms of the gentle flow and transition of values. You know, I would like you to be a little more brave about letting the edge get lost. Look for incidences where the edge of the subject melts into the value of the background. And when you make such a drawing, I'd like you to consider the background value as well. Looking at your cat's shadow, and from all my experience, I think it could be darker still where the shadow itself meets the base of the object.